There is no one. He is a one-on-one. But I think, with the increased volume, the ability that he's worked his tail off for to be able to shoot the ball like that makes him a tough cover for sure. But I think we also got to do a better job. Like his first ones can't be off an offensive rebound, kick out threes. I think he's using some of them to get going the last couple games. So we got to do a better job there of taking those away. And if we don't get the rebound, you got to go into a scramble and not give up them open threes.
Hey, Ant, in the first quarter, it looked like after you hit a three, you were talking on the sideline to Steph and saw a video of you pregame having some fun with the night-night. How tough is it to not have that player on the court competing against you, to have someone to have that game within the game against? And how do you keep that even though he's not in the game?
Sometimes it's tough, but trust me, man, I wish he could be out there to play against him, no matter how it goes. But yeah, just from working out with him in the summer, that's what I told him after I hit a Tracy. Because he told me I had missed one. He was like, you weren't going to make that. You was too open. And I was like, I ain't going to never stop shooting him. I learned that from you this summer. So, yeah, man, he's the greatest shooter of all time. So I would definitely love to compete against him, man. But, he got hurt, unfortunately, and I hope he gets better.
Coach, pregame, I asked you about possible sidebars that you've had with a few of the players. When it comes to Jimmy, are you asking him to be more aggressive, or do you pretty much appreciate his ability to kind of pass up on his own shot and try to find somebody?
I don't have to say a whole lot to Jimmy. We collaborate all the time, and we talk about ideas, and I always feel like he has a great sense for the game, and he does whatever's necessary to win. He's proven that, not only here since we traded for him, but over the years he knows what's needed, and I'm confident that Game 5 he's the ultimate competitor. He'll be ready to roll.
Basketball fans, welcome back. So as per recording of this video, the Minnesota Timberwolves are up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors, and I'm very happy. So heading into Game 5, the Warriors are down 3-1, and in this one I'm going to be talking about this game, what happened in Game 3 and what happened in Game 4. And honestly, if you ask me, I'm enjoying everything that is happening to the Warriors. I mean, I really wanted to see the Warriors go up full strength on the Minnesota Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards is that guy. And the way this series has gone, the way things have happened and the way things have unraveled, anything can happen, because right now we are seeing the Indiana Pacers up 3-1 on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks are up 3-1 on the Boston Celtics. And looking at this situation, the Timberwolves up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors, and the Nuggets and Thunder series is tied at 2 games apiece. So I am excited to see the Warriors fail, because I don't like the Warriors. I'm not a fan of the Warriors. I would prefer if they get beat in 5 games, something that Anthony Edwards is very good at doing, because he did that to my Los Angeles Lakers. And if you ask me, if the Lakers beat the Timberwolves in the first round, and they were the Lakers matched up against the Warriors will have already made the finals right now, because the amount of effort and the amount of tenacity that the Golden State Warriors need to beat the Timberwolves, it has to be at God tier levels, because Anthony Edwards is that guy. This guy does not back down to anyone, and I'm enjoying every single minute of it, and I like it. And I'm going to be talking about what happened in Game 3 and what happened in Game 4. And before we start, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notified. I mean, I'll be releasing videos of this nature. So the Minnesota Timberwolves have done that thing that many people in the NBA mainstream media thought that it was impossible. A lot of times you see people in the NBA mainstream media do not like the small market teams, and they always vouch for the big market teams. Prior to the NBA postseason starting, a lot of people said Lakers in 5, and at that time it was very disrespectful to see a Timberwolves team, a team that went ahead and traded their second best player in Karl Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks. NBA mainstream media thought that the Wolves will fall off and fail, especially when they got back Julius Randle. But nothing of that happened. They were able to go ahead and have a very good regular season. I mean, they finished number 6 in the 6th seed. So it's not something that the people who are covering the NBA looked at. I can say this team was very much overlooked, and Anthony Edwards was overlooked. They didn't have a very solid regular season because they just sneaked past the play-in, but they were able to go ahead and do the unthinkable by beating the third-seeded Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people said that Los Angeles Lakers, especially after they added Luka Doncic in the roster and swapped AD to go to the Dallas Mavericks, there was that feeling that the Minnesota Timberwolves will be able to, will not be able to beat the Lakers. I mean, I looked at that and I didn't think that would have happened, because when I looked at this series, I looked at Anthony Edwards, I looked at the roster that they have. They didn't do a lot of changes in there, except adding Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. And many people said Lakers in 5. Even yours truly included, I said Lakers in 5. I was just playing. But I just knew it's a 7-game series, and the better team is going to win. Especially with the Lakers losing in the first game, and the Minnesota Timberwolves going ahead and winning 4 straight. And in this case, we have the Warriors. I know I digressed a bit when I was talking about the Lakers. But in this one, the Warriors are down 3-1, and this was the start of things getting harder in the postseason, especially with the Golden State Warriors being taken to 7 games by the Houston Rockets. Them getting out there. I can't say they went there unscathed, because it was a very long series in there, and a lot of times as a 7th seed, as a team that is being led by a star player who's at their late 30s and has been there, done that, won multiple championships, things did not look good. And looking at the mid-season acquisition of Jimmy Butler, this really helped them. And unlike the first 2 games, which had very lopsided scores in Game 1 and Game 2, Game 3 was very competitive, especially when the game went to Chase Center. And the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to steal, 2 games. They were able to beat the Warriors back-to-back. And now when they're headed to, the Minnesota, things are going to be very difficult for the Warriors, because now they still don't have the services of a Stephen Curry. And Anthony Edwards has been destroying teams in his way. And also, in the process through the years, he's been destroying legends. We saw he did that to KD. He beat Luka Doncic. He beat LeBron James like that. And Anthony Edwards in Game 3 was the leading scorer, 36 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists on 46.4% shooting. And Julius Randle dropped a triple-double with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists on 44% shooting. So you could see the acquisition of Julius Randle really helped the team. And Jaden McDaniels was not even left in the fray, because he finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 57.1% shooting from the field. So the star duo of Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle have been great. And also, if you add in, Jaden McDaniels, who has shown to be a very reliable piece, and also the other role players, things have been looking good for this Minnesota Timberwolves side. And I have enjoyed every single minute of it, because I hate the Warriors. I do not like the Warriors, especially what they did to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals, beating them 3 times in the NBA Finals. Cavs getting, that win in 2016 in the NBA Finals. That was the best day of my life. But after that, in 2017, 2018, those have been the hardest. And especially when the Warriors won in 2022, after beating the Boston Celtics, I did not like that at all. And the Warriors in Game 4 today morning, they got beat and they trailed, and right now they're trailing 3-1. And I must say, without Stephen Curry, the Warriors are done. And a lot of people said Jimmy Butler was the answer. I mean, at some point you could see people falling for, Jimmy Butler is the guy. He's going to bring his, champion, his NBA playoff pedigree. Playoff Jimmy is going to be that guy who's going to carry the Warriors. At some point I felt like if this Warriors squad remained healthy and Stephen Curry is at full strength, there's a high likelihood they're going to win the NBA Finals. That's what I thought earlier on. Okay, I hate the Warriors, but looking at it, but you can't hate the talent that they have. But the way things are right now, I don't see the Warriors being able to come back down 3-1. I know there are a lot of people who are vouching for the Warriors. They're saying Warriors in 7. But it's not going to happen. Coming back down 3-1 is going to be very difficult for the Warriors. And the Golden State Warriors now find themselves on the brink of elimination because they're playing in a win or go home situation, still without Stephen Curry. And this 117-110 loss in Game 4, I mean, it's going to be that final nail in the coffin. And you're going to wait until you see Game 5, how it's going to pan out in Minnesota. So despite, even an effort with Jonathan Kuminga with his 23 points on 11 of 12 free throw shooting, the Warriors still could not be able to get any firepower to stop it. And Golden State led at halftime with 60-58. I remember I was watching this game live, and at some point I felt like this Game 4 will be the deciding factor of the series, because majority of the time Game 4s, the other two things can happen. It's either a team can tie up the series or go down 3-1. And looking at the Warriors, I feel like even without Steph, they might have been able to win it. But boy, was I wrong, because they went down and lost this game. But at halftime, there was a glimmer of hope, because they finished the half 60-58, and there was a high likelihood that the Warriors, if they continued with the same productivity, they will still, they will have still made it. And man, I don't know. Anthony Edwards is that guy, and he was able to dispatch this team in quick fashion. And I don't think there should be any doubt on anything Anthony Edwards does, because at this point, there are some players who are just destined for that. They are just built for those moments. And the absence of Curry was once again glaring. Without the gravitational pull of the NBA's all-time three-point leader, the Golden State offense sputtered, particularly from deep. So the Warriors just hit 8 of 27 shots from beyond the arc, as Minnesota effectively keyed in on Buddy Hield and other shooters, and neutralizing their chances of shooting. So Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler scored 14 points apiece, while Hill chipped in with 13. Still, the flow and rhythm that defined Steve Kerr's system was not there, especially with the absence of Stephen Curry, especially against a Timberwolves team who have one of the best defenses in the NBA, especially defending the perimeter shots. That's something that the Minnesota Timberwolves have thrived at, and with that type of defense, and knowing for a fact that in the postseason defense is everything, it's very difficult for you to be able to win the game. And I'm looking at this series as a series that's already done. I don't think the Warriors have what it takes to go ahead, unless a miracle happens and Stephen Curry comes back, which I don't think he's going to come back the same guy. Nothing of that nature is going to happen. So the Timberwolves are just going to proceed to the West Finals, back to where they were. And we're going to wait up on the winner of the Denver Nuggets versus OKC Thunder. And if the Denver Nuggets end up winning that series, Anthony Edwards makes his first postseason. More postseason finals. I don't think there's any doubts on that one, because the way the Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing, I don't think there's a weak spot in their game at all. And without Stephen Curry, the Warriors are done. Playoff Jimmy, I can say, is done. I don't know. Will Jimmy Butler be able to regain his form? Because one thing that I've seen with the series that go up to 7 games and you go up to the next series, the Warriors versus the Rockets series was very important for the Warriors because this one will have shown us and given us a snapshot of what will the Warriors do against a top seeded team. And at that time, we could see the Rockets were number 2 seed and the Warriors were number 7. So will the Warriors be able to like dispatch this inexperienced Rockets team? No, it was not easy because this team was good. Ime Udoka is there. Jalen Green is doing his thing. Apren Shengun is there. Dylan Brooks. This was a very difficult series and they are very physical with the Warriors. And the reason as to why the Warriors are down 3-1 right now is because of that grueling series they played in the first round. The damage has already been done to that core for the Warriors and they are tired. They don't want this fight again because if, let's say, for example, they're able to come back down 3-1 on the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is highly unlikely, the Warriors will have to go to the West Finals. They're going to match up against the winner of that, or of the Denver Nuggets versus the OKC Thunder series. So will they be able to even make it to the finals? Because they are being bruised up by the Houston Rockets, who are playing suffocating defense. From the Houston Rockets series where they were able to win in 7 games, they went directly into playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who had some rest. So the Minnesota Timberwolves are a very defensive oriented unit, and they have a star player in Anthony Edwards, who is very difficult to be able to beat. So it begs the question: was the 3-1? Would the Warriors even be? Did they even have a chance at winning this? That is something that I don't think they have. And honestly, I am laughing. I am so happy. I'm elated, knowing for a fact that the Warriors are going to be handed second round exit, something that I've been liking. I mean, this is going to shut up all the Warriors stans who are always there, rooting for the Warriors every single time they're in the postseason. I'm excited. So thank you to Anthony Edwards. I know he did some damage on my Lakers squad, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, I have no issue at that, being beat in 5. And now the real saying should be Wolves in 5, not Lakers in 5. It's not Wolves in 5, because right now the only thing that Minnesota Timberwolves need to do is beat the Warriors at home, at their home floor in Minnesota. So it is what it is. I'm excited. I mean, I've been following this series a lot, and I must say this NBA postseason has been nothing short of exciting, and I'll be releasing videos like this of this nature. And I mean, unless the Warriors can pull off a miracle, I don't think this is going to happen. They're not going to come back down from a 3-1 deficit. That's impossible. And already you have to understand that the Warriors already blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavs. So it is what it is. And the Cavs are down 3-1 on the Indiana Pacers. So I'll also be talking about that. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified. I'll be releasing videos of this nature. So yeah, man, I'm out. Peace.